Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to everyone joining us today. I'm Dr. Shakeel Ahmed, and I am part of the e-learning center here at Jazan University. The ELC organizes training sessions focusing on Blackboard, AI, and interactive technologies. I believe sessions like this are very important because they give us space to explore and imagine new ways of teaching. Today, we will focus on immersive technologies like AR, VR, and 360-degree experiences. We will see how these tools can transform our courses and help us design lessons and that definitely truly connect with our students. The title of our session is Designing Faculty Ready Courses with Immersive Technologies. When we say future ready, it means that courses that do not only serve today's need, but also prepare our students for the skills, knowledge, and experiences they will need tomorrow. So this session is not only about theory, it is about practical ideas that you can take back to your classrooms. So by end of this session, you'll understand that immersive technologies are where they fit into our curriculum and how simple tools can be used to bring them into Blackboard and your teaching. Our goal is to give you confidence to try them step by step without needing a huge budget or complicated setups. AR brings learning into our world. VR takes us into new world. Together, they prepare students for the future. This means AR allows, definitely it gonna allows us to place digital objectives and information into the real classroom space. For example, a 3D model of a human heart on the desk, VR on the other hand, takes students to a different space like walking through NCA room or standing in a hospital emergency room. And 360-degree experiences make them full and feel surrounded by the environment. So these are not just fun tools, they connect students emotionally with the lessons and help them see and do a lot of things that were not possible before. So now the time to discuss why this matters. Specifically, students are digital natives and how the digital natives are different with the digital immigrants. Our students are digital natives. It means they grew up using smartphones, social media, and interactive applications. So this means they learn definitely from how many of us learn differently. So their attention span is often shorter because they are used to switching between apps and notifications quickly. So if we use long lectures and text heavy slides, it means we're going to risk losing their focus. But if we design lessons that are interactive, visual, and hands on, we match their style of learning. So at Jazan University, when we like add small digital tasks to lectures, we see participations increase. So immersive technologies can help us align with how our students already interacting and not only with the classroom, interacting with the world as well. So traditional teaching slides are useful for sharing informations, but they often make students passive. They sit, listen, and write notes, but they do not actively use the knowledge in real time. For example, a physics concept shown only in the text may be memorized but not truly understand. With immersive tools, students can see focus actions in 3D or manipulate a model themselves. So this movement from passive to active makes a big difference in learning outcome. So the more students are engaged in doing, the deeper their understanding becomes in the real environment. So here we have to discuss and see that why like the immersive tools creates active learning and how it comes over there. Immersive tools turn learning into an activity, not just listening. So VR can let students simulate a surgery, try a chemical experiment, or take part in the historical events. AR can project a 3D models of the molecule or a human organ directly in the classrooms for students to study. 360-degree videos can take students on a tour of a rainforest, a cultural site, or even our own campus facilities. So these experiences activate multiple like sense of sight, hearing, and sometimes even motion. So this multisensory like learning boost motivations. It gonna keep attentions and help knowledge stay in a memory longer, because there is one research once the student inside, even if the lecture is only the passive side, the teacher is speaking and the student is listening, at that time might possible it can retain the 25 to 40% of the information, but the similar lecture is being converted to the visual effects or in the form of videos. Around 70% of the information can be retained in this way. So I believe this like the new world is going to be changed, and it's going to have some visual effect based learning. If you're going to add some kind of interesting features in your lectures, it's going to help you a lot to retain the attention of the students. So employers today are asking for skills beyond memorization. So they want definitely graduates who can analyze information, think in 3 dimensions. They can collaborate effectively and use digital tools. So immersive technologies are a safe way to build these skills. Students can practice teamwork in VR projects or test how they respond under pressures in different type of simulated scenarios. So mistakes become learning opportunities rather than risks. Because, for example, a doctor or medical students inside the emergency room, if you're going to give them the practice for the real environment, it's going to have a lot of different dangerous perspectives being involved. But the similar student, if they are trying to practice something with the using the different technologies like VR, AR, or 360-degree videos, at that time is 100% safe. And if they are doing some kind of mistakes, it doesn't matter because there is not real human body in front of them, so they can make mistakes, and by making mistakes they can learn in a good way. So this definitely going to prepare them not only for the exams but for their future careers in digital economy, which is also in line with Vision 2030 priorities in Saudi Arabia. Now, let's look at the bigger pictures of the immersive technologies. When we talk about designing future-ready courses, it is not only about one tool like AR or VR. It is about a spectrum of technologies that work together to make learning more engaging. On one side, we have augmented reality, which brings digital objects into our real world. On the other side, we do have virtual reality, which takes us into the fully digital world. In the middle, we find mixed reality. You need to understand the difference between the AR and VR, because this mixed reality, where the real and digital objects interact together. And of course, there is 360 degree media, which surrounds learners with the environment they can explore from all angles. Overall, the next slides will discuss each of these in details with examples of how they can support our teaching here at Jazan University. Virtual reality is perhaps the most well-known of all immersive technologies. When we are learners put on a headset and set up into the completely digital world. So they are no longer just looking at information on a screen, they are inside the scene itself. For example, History students can walk through ancient Rome, or medical students can practice surgical procedures in a safe virtual environment. So, in like engineering students can explore large machines or factories without leaving the classrooms. What makes VR powerful is that it gives learners a sense of presence. They feel like they are really there. They can feel themselves inside the environment. And along with that, VR tools allow us to create experiences that would otherwise be too costly. Might be you need a long trip for the students to send them in the factories or inside the emergency rooms for the like medical student. So they feel like they are in the real environment. So along with that, VR tools allow us to create experiences that definitely gonna be really costly, too dangerous, or simply impossible in real life. So this is why VR has become such an important tool for all of us.
Start with virtual reality.
So look at this video
Virtual
and he's
reality
gonna give
uses
you
VR
a real
headsets to
environment
create a
and how does it
simulated
work.
environment and helps an individual to immerse into it to experience an entirely different reality. However, the historical journey of virtual reality began back in the 1800s. This marvelous idea has been evolving from the time practical photography came into existence. Morton Heilig invented the first VR device called Sensorama in 1957. His multimedia device, the Sensorama, is considered one of the earliest VR systems. However, the term virtual reality was coined later by Jaron Lanier in 1987 during his intense research on this evolving technology. A lot of companies are investing billions of dollars in the VR sector. Some of the best VR products are Oculus Quest, Nintendo Labo VR Kit, Sony PlayStation VR, Lenovo Mirage, and many more. These gadgets enable an individual to immerse in a digital environment to experience a world which is different from reality. You might think VR is all about gaming, isn't it? But the potential of VR doesn't stop there. It is revolutionizing many other industries like education, military, medicine, and sports, to name a few. Here are some examples of VR in real life. Class VR is an innovative new concept in the educational industry which uses VR tech to raise the engagement and knowledge retention for students of all ages. Class VR uses VR headsets with a user-friendly interface for both students and teachers, gesture controls, and embedded educational resources. Facebook is coming up with a new idea called Facebook Horizon, which is an ever-expanding VR community where you can explore, play, and create. It helps you to defy physics and reality and
So
experience the
look at these
impossible.
technologies
And we
once you're
also have
using
VR
inside the
360, which is a
classroom, how
360-degree audiovisual
they can create
simulation.
a fun
It
over
allows
there.
the user to look around in any direction, just like how they look and observe things in real life. You can experience anything from standing on top of a pyramid to enjoying Tomorrowland sitting at home. Isn't that wonderful? We can't end the topic if we didn't highlight the role of VR in gaming. A great take on this is the movie Ready Player One by Steven Spielberg. The film is set in the year 2045 when the world is on the brink of chaos and collapse. But humans have found salvation in a virtual reality universe where they could make the impossible possible. Let's hear what Steven himself feels.
So this is what like immersive technologies are doing and how they're working over there, because this is a spectrum. This is not only the AR or VR, because now there is a lot of things been happening together, because earlier it was invented the augmented reality, then virtual reality. Now there is a mixed reality that's gonna help a lot for
Next up is
different
AR.
the thing. Now
Augmented reality
we
is
are
a
going to
technology that
have
projects
a little
computer-generated
demo and
augmentations on
tour
top of
video about
reality,
the augmented
helping us
reality. So have a
perform
look at
tasks
this one.
better and efficiently. AR, which falls in between reality and virtual reality, is a method used to render real-world data and present it intuitively so that virtual elements resemble the present reality to an extent. The revolution doesn't stop here.
So
Have you
you need
ever tried
to
to catch
learn
Pokemon
over
using
here that
Pokemon
augmented
Go or
reality works
fit any
differently from
furniture
virtual
using the
reality.
IKEA app? These are made possible by the technology called augmented reality. Augmented reality has seen raging in popularity over the past few years, and the revolution is not stopping anytime soon. AR is giving brands the power to provide their customers with unique experiences that can prove to be the difference between purchase and dropout. Let's have a quick look at the history of AR. So you might think AR is a new technology. Well, on the contrary, it has been around for numerous decades. Ivan Sutherland developed the first AR gadget called Sword of Damocles during 1968. This system used computer graphics to show users simple wireframe drawings. From Pokemon Go to training future surgeons, augmented reality is starting to infiltrate many industries of our society today. But what exactly is augmented reality? Looking into the most popular applications of AR, first up we have location-based AR apps like Google Maps, which place digital directions on top of the real world and shows you where to walk. Next, we have Google Lens. It is another application that enhances the search experience. With Google Lens, you don't have to type your query anymore. Just open the app and aim it at what you want to learn about. Google Lens will identify the object and give you all the essential details about it.
It is
Then
requested for
we
all
have
the
the
faculty
Snapchat
members, you have
filters.
to watch
These
the
are one of the
video
best
carefully
examples of
because I
AR,
have
and
got
as
one
you know,
question by end
Snapchat
of
has
this
become a
video.
trend among the younger generations. Did you know that Mysterio couldn't have fooled Spider-Man without his AR technology?
I hope by
See,
end
that
of
wasn't
these
so hard.
videos that you
But
got an
thanks to his
idea
spider
about
sense, Spidey dodged
AR
all the
and VR.
drones, destroyed them all, and gave us a good ending. Even Facebook has plans to build AR glasses to create 3D maps of the world. If you are still skeptical about AR, check out what Mark Zuckerberg.
So by watching all these two videos about the VR and AR, I hope you got an idea that how does it work. I have a question for you guys, and I'm expecting answer from everyone in the session that what is the difference between AR and VR? AR mean augmented reality, VR mean virtual reality. Do you know what is the difference between AR and VR? I'm waiting for your answers, please. It's quite simple because you, as a teacher, faculty member, belongs to the era that is digital era. So most of you may be using some of these tools, but I would like to ask you one question. Mean like before moving ahead, that what is the difference between AR and VR? Do you have an idea about this one? Could you please write a simple sentence? What is the difference between AR and VR? There is mean like huge number of faculty members in this session, so I'm waiting the answer from you guys. I hope you are with me. Could you please write a sentence that what is the difference between AR and VR? I'm waiting for you. We do have 30 seconds to discuss about this question, then we can move ahead. Could you please write a sentence, a word from your side in the chat box that what is the difference between AR and VR? By watching these two tutorials, and we have already discussed in detail about the VR and AR, that what is the difference between virtual reality and augmented reality. I believe you can answer me in one sentence because pretty simple difference over there. So I'm waiting for you guys. There are a huge number of participants in this session, so I'm waiting answer for you from you. If you're not interactive with me, it means you're not learning in a way. So I request everyone to respond. Waiting answer from your side. Okay, Dr. Santi, the AR is gonna adds a digital objects to the real world. The VR is replaces the real world with the virtual one. Exactly. Real world and creating real world. Okay. Dr. Shella Basi, great. Augmented reality offers the digital elements on to the real world, enhancing it like okay, while the virtual reality fully immersed uses in a completely virtual environment, replacing the real world. Excellent. We still see surrounding, not fully immersed in virtual world. Dr. Artika, amazing. It's great that you all guys are with me and putting all the interest over there. Most of you responding in a good way. Like in simple words, we can say like augmented reality works differently from virtual reality. Instead of taking us into a new world, AR definitely adds digital objects, informations into the world we are already in. Imagine holding up your phone or tablet and seeing a 3D model of the human heart appears on your desk. So you can rotate it, zoom it, and explore it. Because if well, like it were physically present, so you can play with them like you're using the augmented reality, that something is physically available in front of you and you can play in your own way. In a chemistry class, molecules can be projected in 3D, so students can understand their structure better. So in nursing, AR flashcards can definitely bring anatomy to life. So there are so many things showing organs and systems in ways that static images cannot do it over there. So the power of AR is that it makes learning interactive without removing like us from our real environment. So it keeps students grounded in the classrooms, but gives them digital tools to explore concepts more deeply. So in augmented reality, in simple words, we can say like in this spectrum, like we can have a different feeling over there. We can have the real environment, but we know that we are in the real environment. Besides that, we do have the virtual environment as well. Thank you very much, everyone, to participate in this quiz. And most of you already mean I got an idea that you got the understanding developed between what is the difference between AR and VR. So in coming slides, you gonna learn more about these two spectrums, and as well as we're gonna add it because there is one midway also involved that is mixed reality, where the virtual and augmented reality gonna be merged together and bringing more fun in the education and in the real world as well. So mixed reality is
Immersive technologies is MR. If virtual reality
so
and
let's have a
augmented
look
reality
about this video,
impressed
then
you,
we're going to
get ready
discuss
for
in
the
detail
best of
about
both
this
worlds,
one,
that is
because the
mixed
mixed
reality
reality is the
MR.
bridge between
Mixed
augmented
reality
reality
is
and
all
virtual
about
reality.
blending the real world with virtual reality. Unlike augmented reality, users can interact with virtual objects in mixed reality. What was nearly impossible a few years ago and was limited to our imagination, like interacting with your favorite Marvel superhero, is now possible because of MR technology. Does it seem similar to AR? Well, you can call it AR 2.0. MR is still in its early stage, and it will take a while for it to reach the consumers. However, the investment in MR and AR is expected to reach $4 billion by this year, and the future of MR is not so distant. MR's
Amazing.
applications
Look at
are
the world that
vast,
how
and
much
its
they are
main uses are
investing
in the
in
field of
these
education,
technologies to
training,
bring them in the
sports,
real
healthcare,
environment.
space missions, and even construction. Though many use cases are in the testing phase, this idea isn't far-fetched by any means. The best example of MR is the Microsoft HoloLens, which is just a pair of MR smart glasses. It allows you to experience 3D holograms that melt seamlessly into the real environment. You can interact with those augmentations using your bare hands and get all the information you need. Let's now hear what Alex Kipman, the designer behind the HoloLens, thinks about mixed reality.
In the real world. We're finding great success in mixed reality, from education to healthcare to manufacturing, which is what you see a lot of the cases happening here.
Here's a quick recap of what we know so far. So, augmented reality adds digital elements to a
It is
live
requested
environment,
every
whereas
one
virtual
that you have
reality
to watch
implies a
this
complete
video
immersive
carefully, because
experience
by
that
end of
shuts
this
out the
video, we're going to
physical
discuss
world. On the
something
other hand, a mixed
that is
reality
really important.
experience combines elements of both AR and VR, where you can interact with both the real world and the digital elements.
So mixed reality, as I said earlier, mixed reality is a bridge between augmented reality and virtual reality. So it keeps us in the real world. Um, let us discuss about the mixed reality. So by end of this discussion, I'm gonna have one question for all you guys. So be focused, because you just have seen the video, a tutorial, and now we're gonna discuss in detail about this video. So, as I said earlier, that mixed reality is the bridge between augmented reality and virtual reality. So, it keeps us in the real world, but at the same time, it gonna brings in digital objects that we can actually interact with. Imagine standing in your classrooms and next to your appears a 3D digital model that responds when you move your hands. So you can rotate it, walk around it, and even connect it with real equipment in front of you. So this creates a powerful learning moments because students are not leaving their real world environment, but they are extending it with digital layers. So, for example, in engineering, students can work with the real tools while receiving digital guidance on what to do next. In health sciences, learners can see a patient in front of them and at the same time get digital overlays highlighting organs or system. So this blending of the physical and the virtual makes mixed reality one of the most practical immersive tools for the classrooms. I have a short question for you guys. Can you please put some examples about the mixed reality in the chat box? In one word, just give one example about the mixed reality. What did you understand? What is the meaning about the mixed reality? And how did you understand about the mixed reality? I'm waiting all of you that you just need to put few words about the mixed reality examples. If you got the idea what is mixed reality, put some examples about mixed reality. That how does it work in our real environment and how we can implement in our classroom, and how students can have more benefits than AR using only AR or VR, and what is the benefit using the mixed reality inside the classroom. Can you put some kind of examples? I just need few examples from you guys that what is the what kind of examples can be given for mixed reality. Hurry up, guys. We have 30 seconds to discuss about the mixed reality because I would like to know that how much understanding you have done over there. 3D models in medical field, exactly, Dr. Hina, Dr. Shella, blending ideas, AR or VR. We can use holographic for medical students or games. The best, I believe the example that we can use the holographic technology for the medical students inside the classroom. So either they are not gonna leave the real world, but they do have the the virtual environment in front of them, so they can make different type of experiment with them without leaving the real world. An engineer interacts with the virtual models placed on real table. Exactly. Very good, Dr. Arthika. Anyone else? We do have a lot of participation over here. I'm waiting for everyone to participate. At least one word from you guys. So this gonna give me idea that you are staying with me, and because once you are trying to participate, it doesn't matter. We are here to make some quizzes and giving you some kind like grading center. It's not belongs to any kind of grading. We are just having the discussion between either each other. Once you try to participate, whatever I'm trying to say, like it means we are ready to learn from each other. Maybe something that I have no idea, you can discuss with me. You can put some example, you can give some idea that can be used inside the classroom. Might be that is more beneficial for the student. So try to participate from everyone, that at least put some more examples from the participant which have not yet been participated in these discussions. Kindly put some more examples about the mixed reality. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, Dr. Nasreen, MR focus on blending the virtual and real without showing, for example, using a digital book, like exactly. Good. Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much for your participation. We're gonna discuss more something like we're gonna have some real overview about when we think about the real environment, augmented reality, augmented virtuality, virtual reality. So there's different mixed reality options which can be discussed because all these, the merging of all these options can be done in this immersive technology spectrum. When we think about immersive technologies, it helps to see them as part of the definitely the I mean like in part of the merging between each other. On one end, we have the real environment, what we see naturally around us with no digital input. As we move forward, we add layers of technology. With augmented reality, we keep the real world but add digital objects into it, like placing a 3D model on your desk. If we go further, we reach augmented virtuality, where the environment is mostly digital but includes real world elements projected inside it. Finally, we reach virtual reality, which is fully digital environment with no connections to the real world space around you. Together, these points form a spectrum that we call mixed reality or XR. So this is important for us as a teacher because it reminds us that immersive learning is not one fixed tool. It is a range of experiences. So depending on our teaching goals, we can choose whether to stay closer to the reality with AR or go fully into the VR for a deeper level of immersive technologies. So let's have a discuss what kind of technologies we do have. When we talk about immersive learning, we also need to think about the devices. Not all classes need expensive tools. Sometimes just a phone or a web browser is enough for AR and 360-degree videos. So headsets are useful for full VR, but they can be shared among students in short term. So let us look at some common devices which can be used as an AR or VR or by using the mixed reality different type of devices which can help the student. And not all the devices need to bring inside the classroom because some of them are really expensive. So you can bring some one, two, or three devices which can help to experience one by one in the form of the different groups, or sometimes the only like smartphone is enough and you can connect them with the web-based browsing over there and everyone can take this experience into the classrooms because smartphone devices almost everyone have it inside the class for the students, for the teachers, faculty, whatever available in the classroom, they can utilize the different devices. The first comes first, that is head mounted display. So head mounted display or HMDs are the most common VR devices. Students wear them like glasses and they see the virtual world. These can be wired to a computer or wireless for group use. One students can be inside VR while the rest watch the screen projection. So this way, the whole class participates even if only one headset is available. The next one, that is cave automatic virtual environment. A cave is a basically room where walls become large screens showing the virtual reality environment. So learners can walk inside and feel surrounded. So this is powerful for shared experiences. but it requires large space and high cost. At our university, we focus more on headsets and mobile devices because they are more practical for teaching in regular classrooms. Can anyone like give me an example that did you like experience the cave automated virtual environment? Because I personally have two or three times I got chance to like experience this cave automatic virtual environment. One time, some years back, like I was in Dubai, so I have experienced 7D layers of the screens, the cave automatic virtual environment. Then I have experienced in the Cyprus, in the European Cyprus, and then I have experienced me here in Jizan in the Kadi Mall, but that was a real small room, and you cannot bring the feeling that was really experienced in Dubai. So, any one of you have experienced the cave like automatic virtual environment, and you have an idea what is cave virtual environment and how does it work? Any one of you experienced the cave automatic virtual environment? Could you please share your experience if anyone got an idea what I'm asking? Good. How was the experience, Dr. Nasreen, over there, and what was that? Exactly. When I experienced in like Dubai, they gave us like virtual reality based means some kind of glasses we put on our head, and at that time once we were sitting over there, all the chairs were moving according to the scene, and you feel that you are inside that world. And sometimes a car is moving on, it is going down from from the hill from the downside, and you are feeling yourself that you are you are inside the environment, and you can feel all that what is happening over there. So this is sometimes really scary because you feel you are in the real environment. Other than Dr. Naseem, anyone else experience this one? Exactly. For the kids, being a faculty member, because we are in the mature age and might be sometimes we can control ourselves, our feelings, our emotions, but look at the students at this age, once they do have this kind of learning environment, they can enjoy more, they can have more fun, and in the phone, you can have more learning over there. Anyone else got this experience? The next one, thanks for sharing the experience, Dr. Nasreen. We're gonna move ahead. That is ATC, Vivo Pro Eye. So Vivo Pro Eye as eye tracking technology. So this means the system can record where the learner is looking. In medical training, for examples, we can see if a student checks vital signs correctly. So this type of data is useful for research and specialized training, but is not always necessary for every teaching. The next one is Oculus Quest is popular because it is wireless and easy to set up. It runs on its own without need a powerful computer. So teachers can download educational apps and use them quickly. You can also cast the VR views to a projector. So the whole class can watch like one student is doing inside. So they can see that what the other student is doing inside VR. So this makes is interactive for everyone. This is another interesting device. PlayStation, the best device for all the students and especially for all the kids. They are most of like kids do have PlayStations at their home. So there is PlayStation VR. So PlayStation VR was built mainly for games, but it also supports some educational experiences. For example, art and design students can use it for creative projects. If your lab already has a PlayStation, you can explore these apps. However, for long-term academic use, dedicated devices like Quest are usually more flexible and better supported things inside the classrooms. Now the time to discuss about the immersive pedagogy. So immersive learning works best with we flow, follow the three steps flow. The first one, pre-brief, the second one, task, and in the end, you do have the debrief. So this flow ensures that students know what to do, actively engage in the activity, and then reflect afterward. So without this structure, students may enjoy the activity but not connect it to the course outcome exactly. So let's have a look one by one about first we have to discuss about the pre-brief. The pre-brief is about preparing students before they enter VR or AR. So you have to explain the objectives clearly, give them orientations on the technology. Definitely, you need to tell them about the safety rules and what they are expected to do. So once they are fully prepared, they got an idea that how the technology will work and what we will experience during the environment and what are the safety rules. At that time, they can have more enjoyable fun learning over there. For example, tell them you will spend 5 minutes exploring a 3D model of the human body, and your goal is to identify three systems. So a clear pre-brief sets students up for success, because without the pre-briefing, might possible they would enjoy that environment, but they would not learn what exactly they are going to learn over there. So set them, tell them what you are going to watch and what is the goal for this pre-brief discussion. So once they are going to watch this environment for 5 minutes, they will try to examine what actually their goal is. So by using all these informations and preparations from the instructor to the students can bring some good results over there. The next one is task. The task is actual immersive experience. So this can be exploring a vital environment, solving a problem, or practicing a different type of skills. For example, in engineering, the task could be like some kind of disassembling a machine virtually. It machines, it could be running a simulation of patient care. The key is to keep the task active and focused on the learning environment. So this is again really important that once you have done a pre-briefing, then the task, the actual environment being started over there, the students need to have a different type of activities during the task so they can engage themselves and they can learn something really important which is happening in this scenario. In the end, the debrief is where the deepest learning happens. After the activity, we guide students to reflect on what they did, what they learn, and how it connects to the real world practices. So ask different type of questions like what did you notice, what was the challenging task over there, how would you approach it differently next time. And so this definitely going to help them move from experience to understanding. So this is what like the debriefing, because we're going to take start with the pre-briefing, then the task, and the debrief. The pre-brief, like you're going to inform the students that what is going to be happen, and inside the task they are trying to do what is really going to do during these 5 minutes like environment. And then once they're done, they return back. You can tell them actually what you have done during the task, and what was the outcomes, what was the challenges you faced over there, and what is the difference between the real environment practices and the virtual world practices. Because in the virtual world you are doing something without any fear, but in the real environment, because for example for the medical students, they are inside the like hospitals in the emergency rooms, they do have the real environment, they do have the human body in front of them. For example, for the big accident, there is a person standing, I mean like laying down in front of them, though they need to be very careful by putting some kind of experiences over there. So if they have done all these practices in the virtual environment, they have less fear to deal with the real environment. So this is what like the instructors can do for the students. They can bring different type of technologies to add on inside the classroom, so they can have more real learning environment which can help them to work in the real world. Now the time to discuss about the quick wins for the educators. Many faculty think immersive techniques or tech requires big investment, but this is another like false as amusement, because we can start with the quick wins. For example, create a short 360 video tour of campus labs, or add a 3D AR model of a molecular in the chemistry lab. Even small steps like this make learning more active. Once you try a small project, you gain confidence to expand further. So there are so many different softwares available. You can download them on your smart devices, on your laptops, or on your pads, and you can have the experience sharing with the students. So this is again, there is not everything paid and not everything free. So by using different type of
Wait a moment.
spaces, you
What is
can
going
have
on
a lot of
here?
things.
Don't worry, CoSpace's EDU is not gone. It just got a different name.
So look at this video, because this is another Delightix software, that is CoSpaces EDU. So this is gonna have a 3D and VR creations, AR and mixed reality. Different type of coding sports, 3D 60 tours. So this gonna give you more clear idea that how this software does work.
Now, CoSpaces is now called Delightix, or DX as the cool kids call it. But we did not just change our name. We got so much more for you. A huge and ever-growing library of 3D assets, highly customizable and full of life. An immersive, dynamic 3D space to navigate across multiple devices. VR and AR functionalities to build up your dream world and dive right into exploring it. Step into your own universe and explore it like never before. Or, if you'd rather, bring your
is a very practical tool for teachers and students, because it combines many immersive features in one platform. With Core Spaces, you can create 3D like scenes and VR experiences easily without needing advanced programming knowledge. So this makes it is accessible for the faculty who are just starting out. So it also supports augmented reality and mixed reality. So the same content that you build for VR can also be viewed on a tablet or a phone. So it's gonna be layered into a real environments. This gonna be flexibility, means students can use it whether they have the headset or just a mobile devices. Another important feature is coding support. Students can use block-based coding or even text-based coding to make their 3D creations interactive. For example, in a physics class, they can design simulations of moving objects and program the laws of motion to control how those objects behave in the real environment. So Core Spaces also allows 360-degree tours. You can upload a 360 image of the lab, museum, gyms, or campus locations. The ad, so then this software can add interactive hotspots for the explanations, video or quizzes. It means this is perfect for virtual orientation activities or safety environment as well. This platform is cross-platform, meaning it works on laptop, tablets, and VR headsets equally at the same time. So students are not limited by one type of devices. So they're gonna collaboration. They're gonna have the collaboration in one another's strengths. So students can work together on projects in real time, even if they are in different places in educations. This type of tools can be used for storytelling, different type of science simulations, history projects, or even creative writing. For example, language students can build a virtual storybook, definitely where they practice dialogues, different type of dialogues. Nursing students can build a 3D emergency room scenario. So the possibilities are broad. But the most important thing is that it definitely encourages the students to create, not just consume content. When the students build something themselves, definitely their engagement and understanding increase dramatically. So now the time to discuss about ThinkLink. ThinkLink is another powerful tool for immersive learning, but it focuses more on making images and video interactive. With ThinkLink, you can take a simple image, a 360 photo, or even a video, and then add interactive hotspots. These hotspots can contain text, audio, video clips, or even links to other resources. So one of the best features is how easy it is to create. So the teachers don't need coding skills or advanced design experiences. So you simply upload your image or 360-degree photo and then click to add interactive points. Within minutes, you can create resources that feels engaging and dynamic for your student. Another strength of ThinkLink is that it is VR and AR ready. So this means that the interactive 360-degree content you create can be explored using a VR headset or just on regular phone, tablet, or laptops. So this makes it flexible and accessible to all the students, even if not everyone have advanced devices, but even then it is also cross platforms. So whether your students are using iOS, Android devices, or desktop, they can still access the same interactive lessons. Once they are interacting with the same lessons on all the devices, they can have, like, makes it practical for Jazan University as well, because the faculty where students may bring different devices inside the classroom. So that is really easy to implement in Jazan University. So one more thing, collaboration is definitely another important part. Students can work together to create interactive maps, virtual field trips, or group projects. So you can have the example of history students can design an interactive timeless with images. They can create some kind of videos and different type of narration as well. Nursing students can build a 360 degree wardroom or tour where each hotspot explains equipment and procedure. So in educations, I believe ThinkLink can be used in many ways, from creating interactive textbooks to designing virtual lab tours to supporting different type of self-paced learning modules. So the big advantage is that it transforms statistic type of materials into living resources. So instead of just looking at the pictures in a slide, students can explore, click, listen, and learn at their own pace. So this is kind of like activity. I believe that they can keep them engaged and give the teacher more creative freedom inside the classroom. Now the time to discuss about the different type of tools and applications for the educations or inside the education, that what kind of tools and applications can be used for education purposes. So one of the easiest way to start using immersive technologies is by applying them in simple but meaningful classrooms activities. Here we're gonna have four examples that can make a big difference in our teaching. First, 360-degree campus or lab tours. Imagine giving new students a virtual tour of Jazan University's labs, clinics, or libraries before they even set foot inside. So they can look around freely, click on hotspots, and learn safely rules or instructions. So this is especially useful for orientation and preparation before hands-on sessions. Second, AR flashcards or anatomy kind of models instead of the flat pictures of the human heart. AR flashcards let students see a 3D model right in front of them, so they can rotate it, zoom in, and study it layer by layer. So in subjects like biology, chemistry, or nursing, these interactive modules make memorization easier and understanding deeper. Because definitely there is one research that once you are watching something, you are experiencing in the form of the videos. We already discussed the research that it can have more memorization power instead of just listening or reading something like that. The third most important part, that is interactive branching scenarios. So here students make decisions and see different outcomes. For example, in teachers training, they could choose how to respond to a classroom behavior problem and watch how the scenario changes. In medical training, they might decide how to treat a patient and learn from the consequences. So this builds decision making and critical thinking. Finally, VR role plays. A role play is one of the oldest teaching strategies, and VR makes it even more powerful. Students can step into the different roles: a doctor, a patient, a kind of manager, or a customer, and practices the real communication in a safe environment. So, this is especially useful for the soft skills like counseling, negotiations, or the teamwork. The important point is that these tools are not just for fun. Each one connects directly to learning goals. So, whether it is orientation, skill practices, decision making, or communication, immersive tools give our students a more active, engaging, and memorable learning experiences for everyone inside the classroom. So, this learning is not only belongs to the students. Definitely, there is a learning for the teachers, because once they are trying to use the technology inside the classroom, they are getting fluent with the technology and they're gonna have more friendship with the technology. And once being a faculty, because the faculty belongs to digital immigrants, and the students belongs to definitely native speakers or digital natives. What is the big difference between these two generations? Because we didn't grew up with the technology, so we as a teacher faculty members are not as much fluent as the students are, because they belongs to the digital natives. They grown up with the technology, they are more fluent with the technology, they know better than us that how to use the technology, and they are more proactive to learn from the technology. So, being a faculty member, if you are not going to have the friendship with the technology, it means you are not going to be a good teacher inside the classroom. This is not the time to deliver the lectures like in the traditional way, what we were using in the old fashioned teaching styles. Now, the teaching styles are going to be changed. If being a faculty, you are not going to change yourself and you are not going to embed the technology in your classrooms with your lessons, in your courses, it means you're gonna have a big a difference between the students and digital natives and digital immigrant. So this gap's gonna be increase instead of like going to be close to the students. So being a faculty member, if you want more connectivity with the digital native students, you need to immerse the technology, you need to embrace the technology, you need to learn the technology on a daily basis, because there are a lot of changes been happening every day. First, we just introduced with the Chat GPT. Now there are so many other versions of the Chat GPT available in the market. There are Google KLM, like Notebook KLM. There are some other like Chat GPT softwares available. I mean, in the market. So you need to compare all of them and bring the best one in your use, and allow yourself to embed with the technology for your students to treat them like in a better way, and you can equip yourself with the latest type of techniques of the teaching. Integration of the standards, a different type of definitely standards which can have uh, you can have the strength with the immersive tools. So one of the strengths of the immersive tools is that many now run directly in the web browsers. So WebXR allows VR and AR content to open without installing apps, which makes it simple for students, and definitely for 3D files, different type of formats like GITF and USDS, and they're gonna ensure compatibility across devices. So this help us share content easily, whether students uses iOS, Android, or desktop. There is one big difference between the web-based environment and application downloadable environment, because sometimes to download the applications you need a specific hardware requirement for your devices, like your iOS devices or your laptops over there. But web-based environment don't need doesn't need so much expensive equipment over there, or the specific technical requirements. You simply log in by using their URL. Like nowadays you are accessing your Blackboard Ultra, because this is web-based environment. So whatever the kind of devices are available with you, either the laptop, Android or iOS devices, your web-based Blackboard Learn Ultra work like similarly on all the devices. So this is what like web-based augmented reality and virtual reality based content can be opened by using different type of browser or any kind of devices without installing application on your system. What kind of file formats can be used for these type of things? Like when we want to integrate immersive tools into Blackboard, we use standards like LT1 1.3, which provides single sign-on and direct linking, so students can click once and enter the activity. To measure progress, XAPI tracks detailed learners' actions, such as where the students look in VR or how much time they spend on a task. So this data helps teachers give better feedback and support. So there is a way to integrate the different standards inside the like Blackboard Ultra, Learn Ultra, by using the LT1 1.3 standard. So now, time to discuss about the safety and ethics. Definitely, cyber sickness and privacy is really important over here, because once you are using some kind of whatever the tools and using the VR or AR, you need to be careful with the safety and ethics of usage. So immersive technologies can sometimes cause dizziness or eye strains, because all the time if you're using these devices for the playing games or learning, it can harm your eyes. It can have the eye strain or some kind of dizziness, especially in VR. So how you can prevent this? Keep sessions short, schedule breaks, always provide alternative if a student cannot participate. So at the same time, you need to remember that some platforms collect interactions data. So as a teacher, we must protect students' privacy by ensuring the data is stored safely and used only for learning purposes. Because nothing is 100% free on the internet. Sometimes there are some games, some of the, and there are some softwares being used over there. They can ask you for the registration, or they're asking you to share your personal information. So at that time, teacher need to decide what kind of softwares or web versions can be used and utilized for the student, because not all the versions are safe for the students. You need to protect students information and their security, because if any of the website asking for some kind of personal information at that time, you need to be alert yourself, and you need to tell the students that they need to be careful while sharing their personal data. Most of the websites asking you to share your personal email, they can ask you to share your phone number, they can ask you to share your user ID and passwords or something like this. So this is a sign and alert. Being a faculty member, you need to be alert at that time that this kind of information, it means this gonna be fake environment. So you need to be very careful by sharing the informations on the platform, because later on all these informations can be shared on the different environment for the advertisement purposes, for so many other things can be used. So it can be dangerous. So you need to be careful with the safety and ethics of using several different type of cyber uh, privacy. Beyond physical comfort, definitely psychological safety is important. Some wear sense like medical emergencies can feel intense. It can warn students in advance and let them step out if needed, because sometimes some kind of environment are not easy to be experienced for all the students. So you need to tell them before taking them into the environment that you can have this kind of environment, and if you feel not comfortable, you can quit at the same time. You don't need to stay there for a long time. So also you need to be careful, and you can be there's carefully you need to be careful with the wet content to ensure that it is accurate, age appropriate, and culturally respectful. So this ensures immersive learning stays safe and effective for everyone. Being a faculty, you need to decide that psychologically this is good content for the student, or this content gonna help to align with the academic learning environment, and this is appropriate for the students. If you being a faculty member feel that it's gonna be misleading informations or some kind of activity which gonna lead them to interact different type of scenarios or environment, being a faculty member, you need to avoid for the students to interact with these type of activities. So here is assessment method in immersive learning, that how you can make assessments. So assessment in immersive learning should reflect skills, not just knowledge. So in VR, you can ask students to complete procedures and evaluate their steps. Platforms also provide analytics showing how students interacted, where they spent time, and what choices they made. So this gives us a deeper insight into their learning process compared to simple quizzes. So instead of the simple quizzes, for example, a teacher could give them the virtual environment and ask them to spend time over there, focus on some of the specific tasks. So these software is going to give you the complete analytics in the end, that where students stops, where they spend the more energies, and what they prepared inside this task. So this can give you more real idea instead of just simple quizzes, which you're gonna share with them, and maybe you cannot bring the exact result by a simple quiz. Instead, if you're using some kind of VR environment, and you can have more clear idea that what kind of learning they do have during the session. Another assessment can be reflection and peer review. So to assess is through reflections, ask students to write or discuss what they experience. So what they learn and how it connects to the real practices. So in group VR projects, use peer review to let students evaluate each other's performance. So this builds collaboration responsibility and critical thinking skills that go beyond the classroom. So by this kind of assessments, once you are, because um, if you ask me, being an like IT expert, that if I try to write something which I have just seen in the form of videos, I can better explain all the steps. But if you ask me to write something which mean just listen, or I have read something, maybe I can miss a lot of points. But visually experiencing some kind of like activities, you can better reflect in the form of writing. So this is another way to experience something really good. In science and engineering, immersive tools make invisible ideas visible, so students can see a different type of electromagnetic fields, quantum machines, like or dynamics in the action. So they can virtually disassemble engines or machines and watch how each part works together. So this brings a theory and practice closer and makes abstract topic easier to grasp. So this is what like in this type of research findings can be done in immersive learning techniques. So like it can moderate improvement to the knowledge. It gonna have the stronger gains in skills. It gonna have the enhances both learning and practical performances. So this is really good for you being a research findings that what is happening. So key what is key takeaways? You can have the immersive tools like VR 360 videos consistently improving the engagement and retentions and skills transfer over traditional methods. So this is what like we do have the effective size of immersive learning tools which can be used during the 2024. So there are almost like we are a knowledge based like activities being done, and there are more in the green form in the like you can see in the graph that the skill based activities being done more effectively, and then 360 videos are in the third place. So where does it fit? Like what the technology, where can it be fit over there? Because the medicine and nursing in health education, immersive tools are especially powerful. Surgical simulations allow students to practice safely before entering the operating rooms. Anatomy models in AR helps visualize systems in ways the different labs cannot be always provide over there. So students gain confidence skills without putting patients at risk. Um, which we already discussed that if you put the students in the real environment, they do have the fear that they can make some mistakes. But in the virtual environment or in the AR environment, they are free. They can do practices without fear. So this makes immersive tech a valuable part of medical and nursing trainings. In science and engineering, immersive tools make invisible ideas visible because the students can see electromagnetic fields, quantum machines, or fluid dynamics in action. So they can virtually disassemble the different type of engines or the machines and watch how each part works together. So this brings theory and practice closer and makes abstract topics easier to grasp. So this is what like STEM can be done in this way. So science, technology, and mathematics can work together by using the technology. In the humanities and languages, like immersive tools open doors to culture and context. Imagine students walking through the streets of ancient Cairo or exploring an art museum in Europe. So language learners can practice conversations in realistic settings like market or train stations. So these experiences build cultural understanding and make learning a language more meaningful. Maastricht University combined problem-based learning with we are. This is one of the study. This is a case snapshot, so you can get an idea that how VR technology is working inside the university. So students explored complex 3D scenarios because they gave them a different scenario by using the 3D environment, then return to group discussions. The result was higher participations, deeper conversations, and improved spatial reasoning. The key lesson here is that VR works best when added into the existing teaching method, not as a replacement. So you can use it enrich, not to replace what you already do well. So the case study basically discussing that it doesn't need to be replaced the complete environment or the study inside the classroom. You can move on with your the way you are teaching. You just need to add on some kind of devices which can help you to interact the students, because by putting or adding on these type of devices, VR, AR, or different type of augmented reality based or the mixed reality based devices into your sessions, into your lectures, into the classroom during the different type of delivery of the courses, it can make more engaging and more interactive with the students. So students can have more interest. They can develop in the similar way. Might possible you are teaching them the physics or the chemistry or the computer classes with a theoretical environment, but once you are putting these devices, maybe their retention and engagement and discussion could be more in the deep way. So I believe instead of the complete replacement, according to this case snapshot in 2024, that you don't need to replace everything. You just need to add some kind of devices which can help you to work more efficiently for your, I mean, like currently running different type of courses. Another case snapshot for the nursing skills lab. Definitely, students use VR to practice emergency responses and patient communication. The results showed reduced anxiety and increased confidence during real clinical placements. So this proves that VR not only improves skills but also supports emotional readiness. Sometimes very important in healthcare and under high pressure fields. Specifically, if we discuss and can bring the idea about the nursing skills or in the form of medical learning for the doctors, for the paramedical staff, for the dentist, if they can have a learning environment for the virtual environment, they did practices over there, they can have the less fear and the less mistakes during the real environment, because they already have done a lot of practice without any fear and without any anxiety during the virtual reality sessions, because the same things they have done during their virtual environment classrooms. So once they are inside the real environment, they have the less anxiety and less you can see the less chances of the mistake to treat with the students, with the patient. So here we do have some kind of references we can use for our study. So we are approaching to end of the session. So here are resources you can explore further. You can have the meta-analysis on VR and 360 effectiveness. You can report for the mastery Maastricht University. You can have the WebEx standards. You can go with the ThinkLink documentations, and you can have the hardware updates like the Apple Vision Pro. So these resources will help you dive deeper into this field. So I want everyone to have a special concentrations for your courses, and during these sessions we have discussed in detail that what is the difference between augmented reality and virtual reality, and what is the benefits can be taken by using these two technologies in the form of mixed reality. So I believe now we can understand that the current scenario we are more towards the mixed reality, because augmented reality and virtual reality can be together, can bring some good results for the student. So again, we can have the discussion that might be we can receive the questions from you guys that either we have to replace the complete environment inside the classroom because we are teaching traditionally from decades, but how we can replace the complete environment right now with the technology. So the answer is pretty simple. You don't need to replace the environment completely with the tech, but by using the different kind of like methodology inside the classrooms, you can interact and engage the students by using or adding the technology to your teaching environment. Because if you try to add on these techniques, you can receive or can in return you can have more engagement from the student side. But as a teacher, as a faculty member, if you're not going to embrace the technology, it means you're not going to have the good results from the students. Because earlier we have already discussed, because we are dealing with the digital natives. Digital natives means the one who grew up with the technology, they are more fluent with the technology, they are more used to of the technology, they can be more learning by using different kind of techniques, because they are once they are fluent with the technology, they want to spend more time with the technology. So once they have the smart devices, if you are not going to engage them with the learning perspective, they will be engaged themselves in the social media platform. So instead they focus on the learning outcomes, they may be spending and wasting the times on the social media environment. So instead, let them go to waste the time in the different environments, so you can bring them by using their smart devices to utilize the AR or VR environment or the mix and match environment, whatever the things are important for them. So this is what like we have done during this session. So I want to thank you all for your time and attention. I hope today's session inspire you to try one small immersive activity in your next course. And remember, the e-learning center team is always here to support you. So let us now open the floor for your thoughts and questions. If you have any questions, you can ask me.